Welcome back, everybody. I, Every Spirit, welcome once again to the channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here on Ezosu Gaming, ready for another Magic the Gathering pack open. This time we got a Strixheaven School of Mages that was the most recent set before Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and then we have Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and then we now have Innistrad Chrisman Vow. So that was the last set before the new rotation came up, and still got very cool cards. So let's dig our asses into that. Before we start, I want to remind you that your support is greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much, welcome, and you can join our Discord by following the link tree in my description. No, by following the link in my description below. Okay, so you can chat with me, play with me, and know the other members of our Discord community. Alright? So, today we have Strixheaven School of Mages. We have 4 packs that I bought, and then the man from the store, he offered me this booster. So shout out to the guy from the Magic store. I'm greatly appreciated for your offering. And let's start right away. Alright. Ooh, by the way, those are the colleges of Winterhold. Right? Silver Quill eats weaponized wordsmiths. Prismari is pyrotechnic dancers. Witherbloom is people that study life and death. Laurelhold, they summon ancient things. And Quandricks, they are math magicians. Okay? But that's a draft type that does not have anything to do with us. We got 1 card. Oh no, I'm flipped out. Never mind, y'all. Let's continue here. And that's a new card, I believe, that I don't have. Oh, let me find the best way to do this. Let's go. Moldering Karok. A 2 generic, 1 black, 1 green zombie crocodile with trample and lifelink. And the necroluminescence is common among the undead creatures of Sedgemoor, giving the midnight swamp an eerie glow. It's comforting from a distance. Hey, I believe that. Biomathematician. I like. Oh, you see fractals and shit spiraling. You know, because it's a repetition. Teamwork makes the dream work, so we repeat our agreements until we create something big enough. 1 generic, 1 green, 1 blue for a human wizard. When Biomathematician enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on each fractal you control. I will reach infinity. You already did. Our spirit is eternal. Our spirit can't die. Okay? But it's fractal. And I've seen more cards about fractals on here, on Strixheaven. So that's a hint for us, right? That everything is a fractal. Everything is a part of everything. We are not all one, but we always sharing spaces with each other. That's how we create something really big. We come together and teamwork makes the dream work. Prismari Pledge Mage. 1 or red, 1 blue or 1 red with another 1 blue or another 1 red. And it's an Orc Wizard, Defender, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Prismari Pledge Mage can attack this turn as though he didn't have Defender. May have the talent to create, but few have the courage to share their creations. Indeed. Then we have Lorehold Campus. It's where they get some story lessons, I believe. Lorehold Campus enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it to earn 1 red or 1 white pay 4 and tap it to scry 1. Mage students obsessed with the secrets of the past choose Lorehold, the College of Archaeomancy. Alright. Then we have Reject, 1 generic, 1 blue instant. Counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controllers pay 3. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard. Grux, for the last time, you have to do more than simply shout out apply at the administrations. Okay, he does not understand the process, the loophole. Then we have Spectre of the Fans. 3 generic, 1 black for a Spectre. Flying. You can pay 5 generic and 1 black. Target opponent lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. Okay. Foul Spectres hunt down those who try to back out of a deal with a Daemogoth. Dea is day. Mogoth? I don't know. Expel. 1 generic, 2 generic, 1 white instant, exile target, tapped creature. Okay. Quintorius was a daydreamer, far happier digging through history books than practicing battle tactics. He agreed with the military academy on only one thing. He did not belong in their ranks. That's true. We already have one of those, Fuming Effigy. 3 generic, 1 red spirit. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, Fuming Effigy deals 1 damage to each opponent. Some spirits share ancient wisdom, others just get mad while you touch your stuff, their stuff. Then we have Charge Through. 1 green for an instant, target creature gains trampled until the end of the turn. Draw card. What a move! Lorehold gets caught flat-footed and Witherbloom barrels ahead. There's like some magic games happening. Of course, Lorehold is about researching in books, it's not about doing actually. Expanded Anatomy, 3 generic for a lesson. Put 2/1/1 counters on target creature, it gains vigilance until the end of the turn. Changing the equation from incremental to exponential was a stroke of genius on my part. So the equation, the balance, is able to create life, right? Mahat, Libra. If you know the Egyptians, for an example, they worshipped Mahat, and they called the earth Tiamat. So creation comes from those, and an equation is a perfect example of Libra, of a balance, of a scale, right? Storm Kiln Artist, 3 generic, 1 red for an uncommon dwarf shaman. Storm Kiln Artist gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. A capture elemental makes your potent, albeit unstable power source. Although, maybe. Mercurial Transformation, 1 generic, 1 blue for a lesson. Until the end of the turn, target non-land permanent loses all abilities and becomes your choice of a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1 or a blue octopus creature with base power and toughness 4/4. For sun's sake, I just want a crab. You're not understanding your own process. Oh, that's some cool shit. Aether Helix, the helix of creation. Spiraling spirits moving spiral. Like our DNA is a spiral upward, not upward, but it's a spiral ladder, right? And you got our spine because fluid and energy spirals through. 3 generic, 1 green and 1 blue for a sorcery. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. That's cool. Some Quandrick mages prefer to study at twilight, watching their experimental equations trace glowing trails against the encroaching darkness. Okay, that's like a flower, right? Ooh, Augmentor Pugilist. 1 generic and 2 green for a Troll Druid. That's a rare one. It has trample, and as long as you control 8 or more lands, Augmenter Pugilist gets +5/+5. Hold still! I have a theory about what's going to happen to your face. And then Echoing Equation. 3 generic and 2 blue for a sorcery. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until the end of the turn, except those creatures aren't legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. Any good experiment is repeatable. Oh, okay. And then you can pay that price to transform it, and you can pay the price to change it. That's our rare card. Ooh, sorry guys. And we have a very cool art on Negate. 1 generic, 1 blue instant, counter target non-creature spell. Shatter your opponent's spell with enough force and you'll shatter their confidence with it. That's true. It ain't no lie. Let's go. Next pack. But yeah, it's very about equations, creating life, math magicians. That's when you say somebody's a math magician, a math magician, you see? It's almost like the same word. Because it's not like math creates everything, but while using math, you can perceive some tools of creation. Because it's all about balance. It's all about coming together. Because in the equations, one side must equal the other, or one side must give you the answer to the other side. It's always about balance, corresponding, coming together, sharing weight, sharing experiences. Whoa, I love that card. That's a wise but fat owl. That's the Ibrahim, Dean of Theory. Just making something up. We have an ancient plane. Let's go. Oh, plane, you go there. Environmental Science, that's a very good card. I've seen a lot of play. It's a lesson, a 2 generic. Search your library for a basic land. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You gain 2 life. First years quickly learn how the vast lands earned its name. Alright? Needlethorn Drake. 1 green, 1 blue for a drake with flying and death touch. As they learn to fly, young drakes have a tendency to accidentally impale trees, cliffs, and unsuspecting students. Because they are full of needles, and as they learn to fly, they might fall, right, and pierce somebody. Then we have Reckless. I like this very much. Reckless Amplimancer. 1 generic, 1 green for an elf druid. You can pay 4 generic and 1 green and double Reckless Amplimancer's power and toughness until the end of the turn. Linear growth. What am I? A first year? Oh, see, he wants some exponential growth. Be careful. But see, it's all about that spiraling, those fractals, those formations over here. Oh no, this goes for the art pile. Burrog Befuddler. 1 generic, 1 blue for a frog wizard with flash. You can cast it anytime you want. It's a 2/1. When Burrog Befuddler enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent controls gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. Students who seek river herbs in Duradur quickly find themselves slightly damp and thoroughly surrounded. By what? By the mage, by the frog wizards? Arcane Subtraction. Beautiful. See, it's more about fractals. It's more about fractals, repetition that expands and grows. Whoa, I like that. 1 generic, 1 blue, instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until the end of the turn. And then you can learn. You might reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand or discard a card to draw a card. The class learned little that day. Why? Well, what's happening? I don't know. That goes for the art pile. Square up. One generic or one green and one green or one blue for an instant. Target creature has base power and toughness for 4 because a square is a limitation. You are squaring something out of something. It's about separation as well. So you're like limiting, it's a format, you know? Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is think inside the box. I don't agree with that. But yeah, a square is to stabilize as well. I wanted to remember that. Then we have Quandrick's Apprentice. That's a mental pilot. One green and one blue for a human wizard. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put that card into your own hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. The secrets of our world will be mine. Because he's like seeing everything through calculation and equation. Alright, I like that. Culling Ritual. 2 generic, 1 black and 1 green for sorcery. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Also, add 1 black and 1 green for each permanent destroyed this way. Your own frailty is your undoing. I am merely the one to expose it. Okay? Kaula's Blood Mage. That's a rare one. 2 generic and 1 black for a Vampire Warlock. When Kaula's Blood Mage enters the battlefield, choose 1. Create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies you gain 1 life, or you draw a card and you lose 1 life, or exile target player's graveyard. The whole graveyard. Mythical, beautiful, rare. Primal Command. 3 generic. Oh, that's the Trinity. That's the Trinity. Sun, Moon, and Earth. Spirit, body, and mind. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Big, medium, small. Right? 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D. Right? Cold, hot, neutral. Distance, length, and depth. Choose 2. It's a sorcery. Target player gains 7 life. Put target non-creature permanent on the top of its owner library. Target player shuffle their graveyard into their library. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal it. Put into your hand, then shuffle. Beautiful. That goes for the mythical rare, but if it wasn't mythical rare, it would go to the art pile for sure. It's very, very beautiful. Then we have Dueling Coach. It's a shiny one. 3 generic and 1 white for a human monk. When Dueling Coach enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. You can pay 4 generic and 1 white to tap it. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Alright. Let's keep moving. Oops, come on. Next pack. Okay. Oh, we have that one. We have that one card. It's about negating spells with coffins. Ooh, Shiny Island. Awesome. Whoa, a rare already? Confront the past. Oh, you better believe it. You pay X and a black, or you can use. No, you can only use the lesson spells to bring the lesson to your hand. Okay, choose one. Return target Planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Remove twice X loyalty counters from target Planeswalker and opponent controls. What? That's strong. Why Gideon? Of all of people, why save me? Oh, I seen that Planeswalker before. She controls dead people. I don't remind her. Oh wait, that's the art pile. That's the rare pile. Oh, Serpentine Curve. Beautiful. 3 generic, 1 blue sorcery. Create 0/0, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is 1 plus the total number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. Whoa, math bites. So that's out of equations as well. They might be the most powerful mages in there if they can really cast those spells, you know, and use them in battle. Because they might be just observations, they might be just images, but if it bites, I mean, it might be real. We already got the biomathematician. It's very pretty art. Not enough to go to the art pocket, to the art pile, but that one is Leyline Invocation. Ley lines, it's like the arteries and the veins of Earth. So we can see it because it's blood on a higher frequency and vibration. Like air is a form of water in a higher frequency and vibration, and you can't see air, right? So the ley lines, the energy flowing through it is even lighter, it's even less dense, but you can feel it, you can use it. Many civilizations knew about that, and some civilizations, some people would be walkers or travelers because they would go along the ley lines and they would build some buildings to mark the ley lines or to harness energy or to send that energies to some place. You know, many quote unquote religious buildings nowadays, they are on ley lines because they were not religious before. Never mind, this is a Magic the Gathering video, right? 5 generic, 1 green sorcery, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of lands you control. Damn, that can be very powerful. Do you still believe my work is nothing but dry, boring equations? Yeah, but they're pretty. Then we have a Eureka moment. 2 generic, 1 green, 1 blue instant. That's fractal as well. That's a lot of fractals. Draw 2, because that's about reflection as well. Draw 2 cards. You might put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. At first, the equations were simply numbers. But in those numbers, I saw a story. And in that story, I saw a pattern. And suddenly, it all fit together. All I see is these patterns, because astrology is about patterns as well, right? Oh, but that's some land drop. That's cool. Vortex Runner. 2 generic and 1 blue human wizard. As long as you control 8 or more lands, Vortex Runner gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. By using the Vortex, I can study for at least 15 extra minutes between every class. I wasn't being reckless, Dean Ibrahim. I was being efficient. Let's go, Creative Outburst. 3 generic, 2 blues, and 2 reds instants. Creative Outburst deals 5 damage to any target. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And then you can pay 1 blue or 1 red, and you can pay another blue or another red To discard Creative Outburst, create a treasure token. That is for the art pile. Spell Satchel. 2 generic artifact, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a book counter on Spell Satchel. Tap it, remove a book counter from Spell Satchel, add an artifact, I believe, a generic mana, a metallic mana, something like that. Pay 3, a colorless, I think that's it, a colorless. Pay 3 and tap it, remove 3 book counters from Spell Satchel, draw a card. Then we have a rare one, Sparring Regimen. 2 generic and 1 white enchantment. When Sparring Regimen enters the battlefield, learn. You may reveal a lesson card and add it to your hand, or draw a card, or discard to draw one. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature and then tap it. Not until the end of the turn, that's very good. That's another rare, Swords 2 Plowshares. Okay, 1 white instant, exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. The Blade Master turned his fury to his new foes, Root, Rot, and Cabbage Slugs. Okay. Olin Shield Mage. 3 generic, 1 white and 1 black bird warlock. Flying. Oh, it's shiny. Ward. Pay 3 life. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter it unless a player pays 3 life. Aim higher next time. And then we have Termander. 1 generic Salamander Drake. Salamander Drake? What? Flying. 7 generic, 1 blue, Adept 4. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. If this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. That's cool. I've seen some strategies around that card, or another Salamander Drake that I remember. Next pack. Let's go. I mean, the art pile of today is getting huge. Come on. I have my big nail just for that. Oh, that's some fire and ice combination. Awesome. Because those fractals as well, but in a larger representation. A mountain. Very cool. Elemental Summoning. You already have one of those. 3 generic, 1 blue or 1 red, and another 1 blue or another red. Create 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. You've made a splash. Now show me a torrent. Okay. Leyline Invocation, we just saw that. Really beautiful. We already have one on the art pile. Eureka Moment, we had one of those. Vortex Runner, we had one of those. Archway Commons, a land. That's a clock. Archway Commons enters the battlefield tapped. When Archway Commons enters the battlefield, sacrifice it. Unless you pay 1, add 1 mana of any color. That's a clock, that's a... but only the top half of the clock. They're not studying, they're not aware of what's below the horizon, on the dark, on the night, right? But it's really, really beautiful. It's Archway Commons. Archway. So they know the way of the arch. Honor Troll. 2 generic, 1 green for a Troll Druid. Vigilance. If you, that means when you attack, it does not tap. If you would gain life, you gain that much, +1 instead. Honor Troll gets +2/+1 as long as you have 24, 25 or more life. First in his clan to attend Strixheaven, and now first in his class. Oh, okay, I see. Troll's getting smart. Fortifying Draught. 1 green for an instant. You gain 2 life. Target creature gets +X until the end of the turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Interesting. If a seedling can push through solid stone, there is no limit to what I could do. Okay, we got a rare one, Semester's End. 3 generic and 1 white instant. Exile any number of target creatures and or planeswalker you control. At the beginning of the next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. Each of them enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. If it is a creature, add an additional loyalty counter on it if it is a planeswalker. Okay. I like that. Everybody's celebrating. Another rare one. Rushed Rebirth. 1 black and 1 green instant. Choose target creature. When that creature dies this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser mana value. Put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. That's useful. Witherbloom students learn to see death not as tragedy, but as opportunity. Then we have another cool one, but that's a common rare. Divine Gambit. Two whites for a sorcery. I have that one already. Exile target artifact, creature, or an enchantment an opponent controls. That player might put a permanent card from their end onto the battlefield. Evil is to be unshackled, not slain. Unlock your foe and release the miracle within. Alright, then we have a shiny rare one, 2 generic and 2 red for a lesson, Illuminate History. Discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. Then, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, create a 3/2 red and white spirit token. Look at the detail in this stonework. Professor, our assumption about early Thorn tool use might not be correct. And then we have an old edition one that's very beautiful. Yavimaya Scion. Scion is about separating. That makes so much sense. Because there are a lot of occult shit about Zion. Like in the Matrix, the town they need to save is about Zion. And Zion's like Zions as well. So it's about separation. Okay. Summon 3 folk. 4 generic and 1 green. Protection from artifacts. Each time they saw blade beat, the 3 spare it out. Oh, okay. So Zion was the tree, not the tool. I was talking my ass off. Or it might be the tool. Yavimaya Zion. What? Secret lair. Uncover the best word-kept secret in Magic. No, it's not. It's Secret Lair, those things like The Walking Dead and Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's his Modern Horizons. What is Secret Lairs? I don't remember. Well, we got a fractured token. Beautiful art. Real beautiful. That's Cultivate. Okay. Another mountain. Start from scratch. We already have that one. 2 generic, 1 red for a lesson. Choose one. Start from scratch. Deals 1 damage to any target. Or destroy target artifact. I don't care what they think. Rutha snapped. I know I can do better. Lash of Malice. 1 black instant. Target creature gets +2/-2 until the end of the turn. The strongest shadow spells come from disdain for someone else, not frustration with yourself. Hey? Alright. Crushing Disappointment. 3 generic, 1 black instant. Each player loses 2 life. You draw 2 cards. Most students could barely endure Dean Ambrose scrutiny for a semester or two. Killian lived with him his entire life. That's tough. Beaming Defiance. One generic, one white, instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2/+2 and gains X-proof until end of the turn. It can be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. I've lived too long in my father's shadow. It's time to find my own light. That's Killian over there. Defy that bitch. Break Saturn, break your limits and boundaries. Infuse with Vitality. That's Killian again. What the fuck is wrong with Killian? One black is flunk and one green instant. Until the end of the turn, target creature gains Death Touch. And when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. You gain 2 life. Dinah raised her cub to Killian's lips, and for the first time in his life, he knew compassion. So there was a very strict teacher that had a son, and he was too tough on him. He was dumb. The teacher, not the son. Storm Kill Artist. 3 generic and 1 red. Ah, we already have one of those. Okay. Team Pennant. 1 generic artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has Vigilance and Trample. Equip creature token 1 or if it is on a token it's 1. Yeah, this thing about Strixheaven is a lot about tokens, because some students are just tokens. They don't have individuality, right? Choosing a college based on Mage Tower results is discouraged but not unheard of. Mage Tower is the competition. I see. We have a rare one. Oh, beautiful. This one has the most... Strixheaven has one of the most beautiful arts I've ever seen in Magic. Silver Quill Silencer. 1 white and 1 black for a human cleric. A Silver Quill Silencer enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with the chosen name, they lose 3 life and you draw a card. I'm very much in the mood to start handing out expulsions. Furry Calm Snarl. It's a land, a rare land. As Furry Calm Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a mountain or plains card from your hand. If you don't, Furry Calm Snarl enters the battlefield tapped. Then add a red or add a white. A Seething Locus of Revent Rage. Alright. And then we have Whirlwind Denial. 2 generic, 1 blue for an instant. For each spell and ability your opponent controls, counter it unless its controllers pay 4. Okay. If they try to storm your palace, you must become the storm. Alright. And then we have Leech Fanatic. We already have one of those, but this one is shiny. I think we have one of those shiny as well. 1 generic and 1 black woman human warlock. You know, it's the same thing. As long as it's your turn, it's not like women are better than men, but the spirits that chose to cater more to feminine energy are a bit smarter. It doesn't mean they will live smarter, but they have the ability to be smarter. Because men do not understand everything about reality and about spirituality. Women do, because they know how to receive, they know how to attract, they know how to manipulate, they know how to contain. Men just know how to push. And there is more to it, because a man have both masculine and feminine energies, and the woman have both energy and feminine energies. So a man can do female type energies, you know, and a female can do male type energies. As long as it's your turn, Leech Fanatic has lifelink. Everyone thinks that leeches maintain a strictly sanguivorous diet, but in fact, most freshwater leeches are carnivores. Wait, where are you going? So that was like a date? That wasn't cool to say like, I mean, it wasn't cool for them to run just because you're talking about leeches. What? So, that's all for today. Let's check out our art pile. Beautiful art by Creative Outburst. Look at that. All of the red and the blue, the sparky theme behind it. Leyline Evocation, just the green in it. How big it is, how expensive it is. That's the same, that's kind of the same here, but the color is special. That bluish turquoise green just gives a different aspect to it. Here, we must see very closely. It's very much about the detail, you know? Those purple lights around the portal, the way the portal connects to something else, the way the portal begins in the hand of the caster, but then it turns into a portal. The fractals over here, such great detail. I love it. Then that's the art style. That's about the same thing, you know. The fractals, the pointy, the spiraling of it. And here, it's just impactful, you know, guys. Just impactful. Negate. Then we have our rare pile. There was one pack with 3 rares. We have Furry Calm Snarl as a rare one. You know it's rare because that's golden. We have Silver Quill Silencer. That's a rare one. We have Illuminate History. Shiny rare. We have Rush Rebirth. Rare. We have Semester's End. It's rare. We have Swords to Plowshares. That's rare. We have Sparring Regimen. That's rare. We have Confront the Past. That's a rare one. We have Cowless Blood Mage. Rare. And we have one mythical rare. Primal Command. And then we have Augmentor Pugilist. Also a rare one. So guys, thank you very much for watching today. Remember to join our Discord by following the link in the description below. Until the next time, I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings and emotions. I wish you a whole bunch of individuality and creativity so you can maintain your sanity. And until the next time, as a 30 Cloud Surfer, surfing out. Goodbye and take care of yourself.